Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Tokyo Tropic Turtles Draft to Glory franchise mode here in MLB The Show 24. So in last episode we had the rest of the season simulation, and we also had our entire off season, and we're up here for a start of year number 4. Should be an exciting year just because we have promoted a couple prospects to AAA to see if they continue developing. Also, this year's draft class looks like it could be potentially a good one for us, so we might be able to get ourselves some good prospects into the core. But I went ahead and basically did all the adjustments to the rosters, so there has been some potential upgrades to a couple players, which I'll get to once we get to those actual comments. And then also, I did lower basically everybody that's in the minors that we didn't draft and stuff like that to basically a low overall, obviously, but they do all have a potential still, because of the fact if they have a potential, there's a higher chance that they won't retire after one season. So that way we don't get all these guys retiring after 1 year, and then every single off season we have to sign like 50 players or something like that. So yeah, you can see all these guys down here, low overall, a potential, just so they could hopefully continue playing. Some of them will probably still retire because of their age or something like that, but most of them shouldn't retire after one season. If they do still, then we will probably have to sign more players again in the off season. But you can see basically everybody with a good overall at least is prospects we've drafted. So we have a pretty good group of players that we've drafted now over these first 3 years. And hopefully a lot of them develop into being something decent. Those guys that were Rule 5 pickups, so if, for example, Shane Sasaki, he's obviously not going to be a guy that's going to be a mainstay here down the road, but at least he's kind of a nice stopgap to have while we develop our center fielders and outfielding prospects. So it's kind of nice to have those Rule 5 pickups now and again, getting into our lineup a little bit early. Guys like Yu Chang as well is just a nice little stopgap while we wait for like Iwamura to get to the MLB, that type of thing. So anyways, before we get into simulating some of the season and scouting out this upcoming draft class, let's get into your guys' comments now and see what you guys have to say about last episode. So the first 2 comments are from Rebecca Weeswidge. The first one says, have you bought sponsors yet? I always buy the sponsors that give me money for hits. So I went ahead and actually looked at the sponsors, and right now there's only one for stolen bases and for strikeouts. Now the thing with my team is the MLB team won't be able to probably get much in terms of strikeouts and stolen bases, but I will probably just apply both of them just so we at least have some in-game stuff that we could potentially earn some more money with. So we'll put those both on, and hopefully we could get some more sponsors once our team actually starts getting good, and then we could get like the hit one, and then hopefully we can earn a decent chunk of money. Rebecca also says, for next season, anyone rated 61 or 62 plus, they move to AAA, the rest could stay in AA. Parker Iwamura should only have 1 season in AAA. There is your first big league player. And I don't know about everybody getting promoted really to AAA if they're above a 60 overall. I would rather wait on a couple of these guys, obviously, to be developing fully. Like, I want Jung to be maybe up to a 70 overall before he gets to AAA. Like, maybe he'll be AAA next season. Stan Nguyen, maybe a couple of years from AAA. Like, we have a lot of time to develop these prospects, so I don't really want to rush their development too much before they get to the major league level. Obviously, somebody like Tom Koo has no minor league options left, so I think this might be his last year where he's actually a minor league player, which is unfortunate because I wanted him to get to the majors a little bit later than that. But obviously some of these guys will have to get added to our 40-man roster, I guess, pretty soon before they could actually start getting taken in the Rule 5 draft, so we got to keep that in note as well. The next comment is from It's Dawn, who says, top 3 upcoming draft targets: starting pitcher Hayashi, 65 to 99 overall, closing pitcher Philip Chung, 65 to 99 overall, and left fielder Ken Yamaguchi, 64 to 98 overall. And then he also said in reply to that, looking at the draft and our team needs, we should focus on pitching. We have enough positional players to develop. And it's true in a way. We do actually have a lot of positional players. The one area we don't have a lot of positional players is second base, I would say, because we only really have Yokoyama. So we might want to look at still getting maybe some more second basemen, but you can see we have a good chunk of third basemen. We have a couple of first basemen. We have a couple catchers. We go over to like even like shortstop. We have a couple shortstops. Outfielding wise, we have a good amount of prospects as well. So yeah, the main area that we would need probably is second base for infielding and stuff like that. But obviously we could develop more prospects and get more prospects in these areas regardless, even if we already have players in those areas. But obviously I'd say our priority is probably second base. And then also I would say closing pitcher is definitely a high up priority. That's why Philip Chung makes a lot of sense. Relief pitcher-wise, we probably definitely could use more people because we only have Ku really and Yamamoto, because I don't think Cho is going to develop. Fujinami's kind of more of just like a stopgap type player, so we could use more relievers for sure. And we could probably use a couple more starters. We do have 3 really good starting prospects, at least for now, but it would be good always to get some more, so that way we have a full-on like rotation, so to speak. The next comment is from Dylan Burrows, who says, Tom Lee boost to the potential, Chu the smallest of boost to potential, Yokoyama same boost as Tom Lee. Incredible season. Iwamura with the Aussie Award. Make sure the non-drafted players have a potential. It greatly reduces the chance of them retiring, and that's why I went ahead and lowered everybody to low overalls and having them still a potential. So thank you for that, Dylan, for recommending that. And I did make some adjustments to some of the potentials, which I'll get to in a bit. I basically went off what Nick said, and this is what Nick had to say. He said, minor league stock watch, +5 Aussie Award, Parker Iwamura and Tom Lee. So both those guys are getting the Aussie Award. It's the first time actually 2 players have gotten a +5 boost. +3, we have William Yokoyama, Stan Nguyen, and Tom Ku. And for +1s, we have Robert Yabu, Charles Nomo, Brian Chu, and Peter Yamazaki. Now, the only one I would kind of disargue with is Nomo. I think Nomo could have definitely got a little bit of a higher boost than that +1, but I decided to still just give him the +1 anyways. So let me actually bring my face back on the screen. I know you guys don't want to see my face, but but anyways, we did make some adjustment to some potentials. So we did all what you basically said there, Nick. And so Iwamura has jumped up to an 8 potential player now. He's, I think, a 90 potential. He was like an 85 beforehand, but that +5 boost got him into the 8 potential range. So Iwamura is looking very good for the future. And then also, I think there was some other guys that got a little bit of a boost because of that potential jump up. Yeah, I think Tom Ku, maybe not Tom Ku, no, it wasn't Tom Ku. EC potential always. Who was it that got a boost? There was somebody that had a little bit of a potential change, I think. Wasn't Nomo, wasn't Yamazaki. Wasn't Russell Yang? No, it was not. Oh, it might have been Yokoyama. No, it wasn't either. I think there was somebody else that had a little tiny bit of a boost in potential. Oh, it might have been Brian Chu. Was it? No, it wasn't Brian Chu. Oh, it was Tom Lee, of course. Yeah, of course. So Tom Lee went up from a D potential to a C potential. So there is some really nice thing to see. Hopefully Tom Lee continues to grow like that, because he's off to a really good start in AA this season. And yeah, who knows, maybe he'll be up to a B potential within a few years if he keeps playing like that. So yeah, he was the other one that got a little bit of a potential boost. The other ones got potential boosts as well, but they didn't actually change potentials. So there is that, and I think we're ready to get started and start scouting out the upcoming draft. I'm very excited to see what this draft is looking like. I did go ahead and put these top 3 guys that It's Dawn was recommending as the 3 guys we're going to be scouting out for the first few weeks. And then I think afterwards, then I'm going to maybe make some guys on more discovery mode, kind of like we did last year. But I know these 3 guys are players that we really want to scout out, so I'm going to get them all scouted out in the first week by our top scouts. So hopefully we find out that these guys are all really good, and hopefully we could draft a decent chunk of them in this year's draft. Hayashi is definitely the top one that I'd have target with, because I do have the 5th overall pick. So I do have the 5th overall pick, so Hayashi would be very good to add to this team. Philip Chung would be a nice one to maybe get in like a competitive round bounce pick. And I don't know if we'll be able to draft Yamaguchi, but if we can, obviously that would be really good too if they're all that good. And we'll obviously scout out some of the other players as well. But I do want to find out about these guys first before we eventually go to scouting out to like internationally and finding if there's any other players that we have not found out yet. So anyways, that is that. Let's get through some scouting and see how good this draft class is. Hopefully it's the best draft class we've seen yet, and hopefully we get some good results in terms of that. And also hopefully our prospects play pretty good in AAA and AA, because that would be really nice too. Let's go 1 week and see what we're looking at in terms of our prospects. Let's go auto on Shockley, because that doesn't matter. Yeah. Oh no. Wow. Really? Well, that's not great. Peter Yamazaki has torn a finger ligament, so he's going to be out for 1 to 2 months. So that's one of our top catcher prospects. Noah was probably the top catcher prospect, I'd say, but Yamazaki being injured for 1 to 2 months is not ideal. We'll go auto on that, but that's a pretty substantial injury to have this early in the season, and that's not great. I hope these guys eventually get a little bit more durability. Let me go down to AA here. So we need to put in a catcher, which means we'll probably change Nomo back over to catcher, which means then we will probably put Yabu back into the lineup, or Sato. Probably leaning towards Sato because he has higher potential. Yeah, probably. So we'll get Sato into the lineup because of that injury. And we will change this again. Make it simple like that. Perfect. Okay. All good and ready to go. How's our team doing in AA? Actually, 3-5 so far. Not bad after 1 week. Let's take a look at the scouting results after 1 week so far. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Philip Chung is looking really good so far. Yeah, he's looking really good so far. Like, he might be a low overall still and a high potential, but he also could be a 66 overall and high potential or low potential. Who knows? But obviously, we're going to get these guys fully scouted first before we change up the scouting decision. But Hayashi also could be probably a really good guy. He might be a very high starting overall and has a high ceiling. We definitely want to get that interest as high as possible as well, because obviously last year's draft class we weren't able to sign all our prospects because of that. So the interest is definitely very important for us. Let's go another week and see what those guys are looking like at this point in time. Hopefully pretty good. It doesn't matter about this guy's strained tricep. Damn, I probably have a strained tricep because I was working on my triceps just yesterday. It's funny. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Ooh, Chung is looking really nice, but he's only 45% scouted so far. So Hayashi, 95% scouted. Probably an A potential guy, maybe a C potential. But he is probably going to have a very good starting overall. Our scouts have him ranked at 13th, but he probably might be one of the best players that we could get with our selection. I want to get that interest higher, so I'm going to keep him getting scouted out a little bit longer. Yamaguchi is looking okay, but I wouldn't say he's a first-round talent. So he could be a guy we snag up in a later round, but I want to get these guys still, I think, scouted out a little bit longer. Just so we can get that interest meter higher on some people and make sure we know for sure how good these guys are. And then we'll obviously start changing it up a little bit, because obviously spending a few weeks on only 3 players is not ideal, because we want to know as much about this draft class as we possibly can. So Yamazaki's almost eligible to be reinstated. Let's go auto on that for now. Tropic Turtles do not have 2 valid lineups. What do you mean? Oh, let's just go put a random dude in here. I don't really care. Yeah, let's just go with that dude and that dude. Doesn't really matter, because the MLB is still at that stage where it's going to be tragic for a while anyways. So okay, Hatfield's injured, auto on that too, and let's take a look and see what we got on those 3 guys. So Hayashi is going to be pretty good. Based on our scouts, he should be a a low overall to a pretty good overall, and a guy that might have C potential to A potential. So Hayashi's looking pretty nice so far up to this point. Philip Chung is looking still pretty good. Only 65% scouting progress. I don't know why it's taking so long to scout him out. Probably because of the scout that's scouting him, but probably a really high ceiling and maybe a really low overall. So I'm really liking Philip Chung so far, but our scouts might have him as the number 4 prospect, which is interesting. So I might take him and get him scouted out by that same person I was scouting out, Hayashi, so we could get that up to 100%. But Yamaguchi is not as interesting as I thought. He could still be a decent, like, kind of a late round pick, but he's not as good as we were looking at originally. So I think we are going to take out Hayashi since he's 100% scouted. Let's go cancel on that. We're also going to go cancel on Chung on that. And we're also going to get rid of Yamaguchi. Let's go with, I think, this scout. Yeah, we're going to go with this scout to scout the rest of Philip Chung, just to get that scouting progress to 100%. And then I think we're also going to put this person on Discovery, Steven Davis on Discovery, which means this person will scout out individual position players, I think. Or maybe, yeah, maybe. Yeah, this person's not that good at Discovery, so I think we're going to only have 1 guy on Discovery, that's Steven Davis, which means this person is going to scout individual prospects as well. So let's see what else we have for Asians here that are supposed to go in the draft, because I forget who else is supposed to go. Let's see. I think there wasn't as much in this draft class, but obviously we want to find the best Asians possible. So, oh yeah, Lee Cho. We'll get Lee Cho scouted out for sure. And then this person will do discover new prospects. And we'll start off with pitchers, but we'll start off internationally and make our way every 2-3 weeks maybe. I'm trying to think if the math makes sense. Every 2 weeks would be week 6, week 8, week 10, and week 12. Yeah, I guess every 2 weeks we'll change Steven Davis out. So we'll try and keep that in mind if we can. Let's go to the end of this month. Auto on that. Okay, we still have not won a game in franchise history. Sasaki has been injured with a bruised arm. He'll be out for a day or two. Let's just go keep active on that because that's really not that long term. Auto utilize on Hatfield. Sasaki's no longer injured. Let me just go place on a bench for a second and make sure he's in the lineup. Let's get him back in for Vincent Seo, who I guess was replacing him, which is good. That's good that Seo is replacing him. I will definitely take that. So Sasaki back in, perfect. We're good to go again on that front. I wonder how long it's going to take before our team wins its first MLB game. I feel like it's going to take a few years, at least, still more. Alright, so... Ooh, Philip Chung is now 100% scouted, and he's looking really good. Our scouts have him ranked as the #1 scout right now. Our number one scout, #1 prospect in baseball right now. That's interesting. I don't know if I would take him that early still. I feel like he could still fall to the next round, but... damn. Philip Chung is looking great. And we do need closers. He's got high interest as well, which is great. I think I would definitely take him in the next, like the second round or the competitive round bounce pick, but he also might not fall that far. That's the only scary thing. That's a really interesting one there, if we trust our scouts that much. Let's change out this guy, and let's see what else we got here for potential prospects to scout out. Hopefully there's more good ones out there. In this scout, I think we'll just do mostly pitcher-related ones, but let me just see what else is out there first. Oh yeah, there's David Knob. We'll get him scouted out for sure as well. Lee Cho will still get scouted out for a little bit longer. And we'll change that other scout in a week. Actually, I do want to take a look and see if he discovered anybody new. Let's see. Recently scouted. Oh, Robert Matsui. Okay, Robert Matsui, he's scouted out a little bit, but that's it. Yeah, I don't think Matsui's worth, like, scouting more in depth right now. Let's go another week, see what we're at this point in time. Auto on Ken DeJesus. No, thank you. We aren't making no trades in the series. Auto on that. Robert Yabu has now been injured for 1 to 2 weeks with a sprained knee ligament. Let's go auto on that. And auto on that too. Jeez, so much injuries still, even with the guys not getting their durability lowered to 0. It's kind of crazy. Okay, these guys are 100% scouted. David Na is actually a high overall for a 21-year-old, probably. And he also might have some potential. So David Na is kind of intriguing. Not going to lie on that front. I don't mind David Na as like a later pick. That's not bad. And then Lee Cho is okay as well. Kind of the same boat. Maybe a decent overall, maybe a low potential guy that could outgrow that potential. Decent speed. Okay. So let's change out these guys, see what else we got here. See if we can find any more interesting guys. Hopefully we can find some really good steals though in this draft. Because we've had a lot of weak drafts. Oh, we went to recently scouted. That's what we were looking at recently. I was like, why is the list so short? Okay. Do we have anybody else? Anybody else? I think there was some people soon, if I remember right. It takes so long to scroll through this list. Oh, Ken Chan. Yeah, we could get Ken Chan scouted out. I mean, he doesn't look like he's going to be that insane, but still a relief pitcher. We do need relievers, so we'll get him scouted out a little bit longer. And Lee Cho we will replace with somebody else. We have to go all the way down here. We might go the opposite direction on the scouting thing just in case. But let's see what else we got. Just in case there's any other good steals that are not rated to go and drafted. The fact that there was a guy with the last name Broadway, though, is kind of funny. There's Robert Matsui, but I will not use this scout for pitchers. Leonard Sato, relief pitcher. Damn, yeah, it seems like there's a lot of pitchers in this draft, too. Oh, yeah, there's Darren Hoffman. Let's get him scouted out. That'll be an interesting one, and we'll change out this scouts thing over to West now. And then we'll scout out for a couple weeks as well in the West, so for 2 weeks. I think this method might work decently that we're doing right now. Auto on that, auto on that, auto on that. Goddamn, man, these injuries. Let's go place on bench for a second with Yabu, and we'll throw him back into the lineup. I want to make sure he's just right back where he was. Yabu is playing third base, which is currently where Sato is playing. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, Yabu was, I guess, a bench player in a sense anyways. Yeah, we'll keep Yabu out, considering Sato apparently is on a hot streak right now. Yeah, that's fine. That is fine with me. How is AA doing, actually? 7-30. They still suck a lot, but it could be because Iowa Murr's not on the team anymore. Alright, so let's see what we got now. Okay, so Ken Chan is not going to be super high potential, but he might have a high overall, so he might be like a D potential guy, which is not really what I'm looking to get, so we'll just change him out. Let's go the opposite direction on this. Irabu is kind of, I don't know. I could get Irabu scouted out, I guess. Let's get Irabu scouted, so that way we can see if there's any other good closers in this draft. Hoffman's maybe looking okay, but once again could be a low potential guy. I'll get him scouted out a little bit longer. I do want to go to the recently scouted thing again. See if there's anybody else here that is interesting. Arizona. Yeah, none of these guys are Asians. That's okay. One more week and then we'll change that scout out again. Let's see what we got here in this next week. I hope that we found the best prospects so that we can know. Yeah, Irabu is interesting, kind of, as a closer. Might have really good hits per 9 and strikeouts per 9, but also could have a really low potential. Could also be like just an average potential, but also a high overall. If we want a late draft closer, maybe Irabu is that type of guy, but he also might disappear from the draft because he's not supposed to get drafted still. And then there's Hoffman, who's not really super anything interesting. Just more of a speed threat, kind of like that other center fielder we were scouting out. Let's go the opposite way in this in a bit. See if there's any other players here that we could scout out. Kevin Choi, closing pitcher. I honestly don't feel like this draft class is going to be super deep. Like, I think our first few picks might be good, but then afterwards it's going to drop off a cliff. But who knows? Maybe these guys will be good filler players. Philip Park. Let's get you scouted out as well, I guess. Even though it's technically another pitcher, let's get him scouted out. And we will change out this person to the Central and then also to East. So that way he'll be done by week 12. And in the final 2 weeks, I guess he gets scouted out individual players if there's anybody we found out. Yamazaki's no longer injured. Let's go place on bench for a second and put him back into the lineup. So Yamazaki being back is nice for the AAA or AA team, my bad. So we will swap him and you, and we will swap you and your positions. And it was you, and boom, and it was you. Perfect. Just gotta make sure everybody's in the right positions. I think we're doing a pretty good job with our lineup, at least for AA. Auto on this person and auto on that. Perfect. Let's take a look at the scouting assignments again. Oh, Irabu is still there. I forgot about Irabu. Okay, Irabu is kind of interesting still. He's going to be a really high overall but low potential guy as a closer that can maybe outgrow his potential because he's got good hits per 9 and strikeouts per 9. And then his walks and home runs are actually not bad either, so he might be pretty solid as a closer. I like that guy kind of a lot, but I feel like he might disappear from the draft class, unfortunately. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see if there's any intriguing guys. Any other Asians I want to scout out in these later stages of the draft or earlier stages? Somebody that actually might be decent, like that closer we found. Oh yeah, there's Lee for the memes, but I don't think he's going to get drafted even based on that, and he's already 23. I don't think it's worth scouting him out, because I think he'll just disappear from the draft class and become a free agent or something like that. Okay, now we're into almost the guys that are supposed to get drafted, I think. Let's see. Any other Asians here? Eric Yamashita. Oh yeah, Eric Yamashita was intriguing. Let's get him scouted out for sure. And Philip Park is looking not terrible. Not terrible right now. I'll keep getting him scouted out a little bit longer. Might as well. We have the time to scout him out for an extra week, so. Sasaki has sprained his ankle. Damn, that's the second time that Sasaki has been injured. He'll be out for a few days. Let's go auto on that for now. And now he's no longer injured. Let me go place on bench. But yeah, Sasaki being injured a couple times in his first season's not really great. But at least it wasn't long-term injuries. So Sasaki needs to come back in for... Who was it? Oh, for CO, right? Yeah, CO was playing for him. Same thing as last time, so that's good. It's good that those other guys are getting a chance to play too. Okay, so we got one more day, and then we could take a look at the scouting update. What do we got? Yamashita might be actually a draft-eligible prospect, or a good draft prospect too, as a reliever. I'm going to keep getting him scouted out a little bit longer. Philip Park is looking okay too, but he also might be a low potential guy, but he's also looking okay. I think we're doing a pretty good job of scouting this year for some reason, but I don't know if we're going to find necessarily the best late round steals, but hopefully find some. Let's see, maybe we'll swap out Park here. Let's go down this way again, scroll for a while. Let's see. Any other players down this way to scout out? My voice is like completely dying on me so many times when I'm trying to record this. It's kind of pissing me off. Don't know why it's like that. Any other ones? Robert Matsui, maybe. But there probably is some other players too that might have high potentials. I want to see if there's anybody else. Leonard Sato, I don't know. I feel like some of these relievers are going to be decent, but maybe we could still take them in a draft even if we don't have them scouted that much. There's Yamaguchi. Anybody else that we should scout out? Ken Chan, we've scouted out already. I feel like we've scouted out a lot of these Asian players already. Charles Imasa, I remember him. I don't know. There definitely looks like there's a lot of relief pitchers in this draft. Hiroyuki Yamada is kind of intriguing just based on the fact he might be a high overall. So you know what? We're going to add him to this list. I don't really know if he's going to be good, but let's add another player to that. And we'll go for another 2 weeks on it. So let's go 1 week. Tom Lee's been injured with a knee sprain. He'll be out for a few days. Let's go auto on that for the time being, but obviously I'll put him in the lineup when he's ready to go again. Okay, we got auto fix our lineups in the MLB again. I'll just put in a random guy. Don't really care if it's the same position as the injured dude, because we don't care about the MLB right now. Okay, that's good. Perfect. Let's go to the end of this week still. Tom Lee is good. Okay, we'll put him in the lineup then. Put him back into the lineup. Tom Lee into left field, which means CO comes back out again. It's good that CO is getting put in when these injuries happen, because I do want him to develop decently, but obviously we have a ton of outfielding prospects, so it's kind of hard for him to get into the lineup as a actual roster player at the moment. But eventually next season, I guess there will be guys getting promoted, so then he can get his opportunity. Yamashita might be intriguing. Might be a low potential, but could develop into something. Looks like he has some good green stats potentially too, so I don't mind Yamashita as a reliever. Hiroyuki Yamada still might have a high overall, so I think he's worth still getting scouted out for a little bit longer. I am going to take out Yamashita though, and we're going to go back through this list again. But yeah, I think this draft is going to have a lot of like good bullpen help, at least for the future, it seems like, based on the amount of relievers we've found so far. So that's intriguing. Okay, now we're back to the stage, I think, almost where we were looking for prospects at. It's hard to remember which ones I've seen already and which ones I haven't. Anybody interesting? Oh, there was Imasa again, so I think we're almost back to that point again. Oh yeah, there was, wait, no, that was the outfielder that was from Illinois. I was thinking there was a guy from the States that we haven't drafted yet that is Asian, but anybody want to name Brandon Diamond? Unfortunately, you're not Asian there, man. Ken Fong. Oh yeah, Ken Fong's intriguing a bit. Let's get Ken Fong in there. Yeah. Actually, I should probably change Ken Fong in Hiroyuki Yamada's scout a bit. Maybe? We'll just keep it the same. It's okay. Let me also see if we discovered any interesting prospects here, because I haven't done that in a bit. Ross Rose, what a name. Does not look like it. Okay. And there we go. Let's go 1 week, and then that other scout will start scouting some individual players as well for at least 1 week. And then also for the next episode as well. So, boom on all that. Okay, so Ken Fong, might be more of a speed steal threat. Yamada's still kind of interesting. He might have a really good overall to start off with, but no potential. Yeah, I kind of like Yamada a little bit. Okay, let's remove the scouting assignments on all these guys, I think. Yeah, let's remove the scouting assignment on all these guys. And let's just check one more batch of players for 1 more week, and then we'll obviously take a look at what we've scouted out up to this point. See if there's anybody else that we really want to scout out here. I wish you could sort by like league and stuff like that. So Choi is not really that intriguing to me, not worth scouting out a little bit. What else we got here? There's just too much players on this list to scroll through it like this. I kind of want to scout out Lee, but I honestly think this guy's a trash player. For the memes, it would be interesting to have him on a roster, but at the same time, not really worth it. Anybody else potentially that we could scout out, though? So many names. We're just looking for 3 more players to scout out. It's hard to tell if some of these guys are going to be Asian or not. Come on. We just need 3 more to scout out. But I think we've discovered a good chunk of prospects at least, and got a lot of them 70+% scouted, which is nice. Wow. Yeah, I think we've already almost scouted almost every single Asian we've come across. Daniel Ryu. We have not scouted out you, so you know what? We're going to get you scouted out. We'll go through this way here a little bit until we get closer to the middle of the list, because this always takes a while to get there. Let's see, we need just 2 more people to get scouted out. Can be any Asian that shows up. Leonard Sato, you know what? We'll get you on the board as well for this week. And we'll do 1 more player. Let's just go back through this list and get that other one that was here, which was Choi, I think. Unless he was earlier. Oh, no, there he is. Perfect. We'll get those guys scouted out for 1 week at least, so we have some info on them. And then this is where I'll stop probably simulating the episode at this point. Tom Lee's been injured again. Wow. He'll be out for a few days again. Let's just go auto on that. And then William Chung. Oh, no. I know you guys can't see the news. I didn't realize my head's above this part. But you can see William Chung has sustained an injury, dislocated ankle, and he will be out for over 6 months. So he's getting the exact same injury as CO was. That does mean CO will get into the lineup, but that is a major injury for one of our top prospects we just drafted last season. That should put CO in the lineup, right? Yeah, it does. Oh, no, it doesn't. Yes, there was an injury to Tom Lee as well. I forgot about that. So I guess Walter Choi will come in for the time being. Man, I hate the friggin' injuries in this game. Wish they didn't happen. Okay, anyways, there's that. Let's take a look at what we've scouted out up to this point. Sato's currently injured, but he also might be a high overall, low potential guy too. Choi, the same boat pretty much. And Ryu, kind of the same boat too. So in terms of players we've scouted out, I want your guys' opinions on what we've scouted out, what you would take with the first, our first pick, which is 5th overall. And then we also pick at 40 and 41. So keep that in mind. But our scouts say that Philip Chung's the best prospect in baseball, but he was not supposed to get drafted. Do you guys trust that he is the best prospect, or would you rather wait and see if he falls to the competitive round bounce pick? Because we do need a closer. Philip Chung might be that kind of guy. However, if we don't take Chung with our first pick, and we take him in the with the 40th selection, the next closest player would be probably Hayashi to take, which makes sense. I think I probably would take Hayashi first, and then I would take the other guy in the comp pick, or the late first round pick in a sense. So Hayashi would be good. What else we got here? Next best Asian after that is who? Not really anybody. Oh, David Na, I guess. But I think after literally our first round picks, we're not going to be able to grab super anything great potential wise, but we might have some good starting overalls. Like David Na looks like he could be usable, but not a very high up pick wise. And then in terms of other prospects we have scouted out, there is Lee Cho, who might be decent, but I honestly don't know how much of a pick he is. We already have a lot of outfielders as well. We can literally just focus mostly on pitching wise if we want to, because a lot of the people we scouted out are like relief pitchers like Leonard Sato, who would pretty much be like maybe Tom Koo. High overall, low potential guy. I think we might be able to build up our bullpen in this draft quite a bit if we really want to. But yeah, this draft class for Asians is not really the best. We didn't scout out Matsui. I think we definitely should scout him out for next episode. But obviously I will leave that for now. Ken Yamaguchi is an outfielder, is kind of interesting, but he's more of a speed steal throw with some okay contact in power versus lefties. But he's not really the most intriguing player, to be honest. And then there's Yamashita, who's kind of more interesting, I'd say, than him as a reliever. Might be a high potential reliever with a low overall. So yeah, I think we're going to be able to build up our bullpen quite a bit in this draft, which is good. And then hopefully our pitchers that we're drafting are good as well. Like Philip Park looks kind of good too as a starting pitcher prospect. Like I think we might honestly just draft mostly pitchers in this one if we want to get stuff. Like Yamada as a relief pitcher also could be good too. He might be a 78 overall, but with 73 potential. Because based on those hits per 9 and stuff like that we're figuring out right now, he could be pretty good. Michael Fong, we didn't scout out at all, but we could definitely scout out him a little bit longer if we want to. Ken Chan, kind of an interesting player, but not really. Might have some good home runs per 9 and velocity and control, but yeah, I definitely think this is a draft for us to target pitchers. We didn't even scout out Imasa, but we should probably scout out Imasa as well for a week. There's a lot of relievers in this draft, which makes me think it's a good one for us to definitely start targeting pitchers and try and fill up that team a little bit more so in the pitching department, so that way in future years we have a lot of pitchers and we also have some good infielders and outfielders. Kind of make ourselves more well-rounded in a way. And then there's also like Ken Fong is a center fielder who's kind of interesting, but I don't know if he's going to actually have that good of a potential either. So, so there is pretty much that. In terms of how our prospects are doing this year, just because I know you guys probably are interested in see how Double A is doing, let's take an updated look at how Double A is doing so far this season. So if we go to Double A, currently Yamazaki is batting a 246. Not too bad. He is up to a 62 overall. Pretty good to see. Russell Yang is playing first base, which makes sense. He's got 20 RBIs already, so that's pretty decent, but not the best in terms of average either. That's okay. Vincencio, since being put in the lineup, has been pretty good. Because he's been in because of the injuries and stuff to like Lee and also to obviously to Chung. He's batting at 260, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. Yeah, he's been pretty solid. So Vincencio is definitely having a good year after last year he was injured long term. Charles Nomo was pretty good too. 7 home runs already on the season for him. More of a power hitting guy, so makes sense. Walter Choi, not off to the best of starts, batting a 173. Raymond Park has already 34 RBIs as our DH, with a 215 average. Sasaki batting at 225, 8 home runs already for the rookie. Yokoyama, 1 home run but a 235 average. Okay, he's kind of struggling a little bit. And then Mark Taguchi batting at 207. In terms of the guys that are on the bench and injured, 10 RBIs from Yabu, and he's batting at 290. Damn. Robert Yabu is doing a lot better than expected for a D potential. Then we have Tom Lee, who's been fantastic again. Holy crap, Tom. Wow. He's got a strained bicep right now, but 66 overall, C potential, 7 home runs, 40 RBIs. He's got an 820 OPS, or 26 OPS, 307 average, and a .4 WAR. Yeah, Tom is going to probably get another boost at the end of the season at this rate. Kevin Sato as well might get a boost. He's got a 296 batting average. Wow. Some of these guys are doing a lot better than expected. Love to see it. In terms of the guy that was injured, which was Chung, I do want to take a look at that as well. Where do I take a look at the injured list again? It was, I think, in... Where do I take a look at the injuries? I guess I could just look at them from here. So Chung, who's currently injured, is batting at 219. Huh, but dislocated ankle, that's like ridiculous. Not great. Not great. He was doing okay, but he wasn't doing insane. He was kind of struggling a bit. But I do want to take a look at the pitchers last in AA, and also we need to take a look at AAA. I almost forgot about them. Walter Jung has been much better this season, I'd say, as a starter. He's a 69 at 21. 15 games started, 5 quality starts. Oh boy. That's not great, though. He's got a positive WAR, though, but only 5 quality starts out of 15 games. Stan Nguyen has also kind of struggled a bit, but also the team might be getting worse maybe in front of him. I don't really know. He only has 4 quality starts this year. Eric Yamamoto as a reliever has been pretty bad. Yeah, he's been pretty bad. Yikes. And then Walter Cho as a closer has been okay. He's been okay, but he hasn't grown or anything. Yeah, he's been not bad. So there's the pitchers in AA. Let's go to AAA. Parker Iwamura is still killing it, even in AAA. Up to a 75 at 21. Holy crap, man. He's 1-9, but he's got a 2.03 ERA and a 1.18 WHIP. Iwamura is really good. 16 games started in 10 quality starts. This guy's a beast, and he's probably going to be in the major league next season, my guess. Easily. Tom Koo as a reliever has been really good as well. Fantastic numbers as well as a reliever. Let's take a look at the WAR on him. Yeah, 1.4 WAR. He's been a great reliever. And then in terms of the guy, I think there was one guy batting in AAA, right? I just got to double check on that. Oh, yeah, it was Brian Shu. He's batting at 269. Okay. Yeah, we're getting some good stats from the guys in AAA too. I like that. Wow. That is impressive. Let's go. That's good to see. And updated top 100 prospects list just to wrap up this episode. Walter Young still at number 1, which is kind of weird. Iwamura at 17. Stan and Peter at number 23 and 24. I think we have a couple other guys on this list too, if I'm not mistaken. Charles at 63. Anybody else on this list? Let's see. Does not seem like it. Oh, one more, and it's Yamamoto at number 99. So, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Tokyo Tropic Turtles Draft the Glory franchise mode. So, next episode, we will obviously take it to the Year 4 draft, We'll see, obviously, if we're able to get some good prospects. I think we're going to get some good prospects for the beginning of the draft, but afterwards we're going to get maybe some high overall, low potential kind of relievers and stuff like that we could use to flood our bullpen. So it might be an okay draft for us, but it's obviously not looking like it's going to be the insane draft that we need yet. But I think we're definitely still working on building up our prospect pool quite a bit. And we're also getting depth in a lot of different areas, which is good. And we're not just building up in one spot. So at least we're kind of building our team on a broad spectrum and kind of targeting all areas of the team to make it as complete as it possibly can. So anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.